Right. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going there, Amanda? Good to see ya. Yesterday I was working on some instrument approaches last night. Put out a video of me doing the NDB 29 approach into military base. So made another one as well, so that's in there. That's kind of fun. Got those working. Today, if memory serves, let's go ahead and let's not go by memory. Let's actually look. We should have an update apart. Let's put it that way. So let's see where it was here. Next week on Wednesday is update week, and we have a slightly larger fix and improvements update, which also includes a new component. Be sure to join us then. So that's today. So that's exciting. New parts are always welcome. And as they say here, they have slightly larger fixes. So, yeah, it makes sense for a lot of this stuff. To kind of put it in perspective, Escape from Tarkov, which is a much bigger game and company, just had a huge patch. Came out yesterday or a couple days ago, and they rolled the whole patch back. So it's even large companies have issues, and so I think they're doing a pretty good job with these. It makes sense that they group some of these changes together as they may intertwine, especially when people are asking for individual pressure changes. Sometimes it makes sense for them to do them together. So we'll take a look. We'll kind of keep an eye on that. So if anyone sees the update come out, let me know. So let's go ahead and I'll show you the new instrument approaches. Did them in the video, but I'll go ahead and show them here as well. So here is one of the instrument approaches. So make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. But this is the NDB runway 29 into military base. So flew that in the video. You can watch that if you like. And then the other one here is, let's see, this one here. This one is the runway 21. So that one's to the south. So I'm going to probably do 4 of these for the different ends of the runways at that airport. I might do a circling one. You could circle from any of these, but I might do a circling approach. That'd be kind of fun. Circling approach is kind of cool. You go to kind of the intersection between the runways almost, and then you just go in the pattern and you circle and land. So those are kind of cool. That's helpful for getting in and out of those that airport when it is a hey, how's it going there, Dark Side Trevor? That's good for going to those airports when the weather is below it's not just clear, so that's helpful. What else? Let's see. Let's go ahead and take a look. Not too much testing going on right now. Just pretty much worked on that. Trying to see what I want to do. Let's go ahead and actually we'll boot up the actual career game, and we'll jump in there and start trying to get moving on some stuff there. Can't think about what I want to do in the custom world right now, so go ahead and jump in the career and get that moving. But hopefully in a little bit here we'll be getting that update, so that's exciting. New parts are always fun. Even if you don't use the parts, it's a part that somebody else might like, which again, game wouldn't survive if it was just one person. So you kind of every once in a while it's going to be an update for you, and every once in a while it's going to be an update for someone else, and that keeps the game going well. So let's go ahead and we are here. Let's see. Pretty much just have that bomb. We're not going to do the bomb. That went sideways last time I did it. So let's go ahead and we'll take a nap. Let's take the pathway over there. I was kind of designed to make it so I don't have to walk around everywhere. Did a little work on the Cap Air Jet. Try to get that up to snuff. I would like to do some Cap Air stuff, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the passengers because Stormlink I don't believe is working. So, it was originally created by End of Line, and then pretty much End of Line stopped working on it. Somebody else did an unofficial Stormlink, revisit, and they added the Industrial Frontier. End of Line pretty much I think stopped working at it before the Industrial Frontier came out. I'm trying to see if I can get here. We'll get as close as we can. Up, brakes. And so that person worked on that and got Industrial Frontier in, and then the you know, even that I think is not working at the moment. So I would like the devs to put it in kind of innate in the game. I don't like too many add-ons personally myself, and any mods. You know, if a game is designed off the bat to be modded, that's better because it's you know, ultimately supported right from the beginning. Like Kerbal, for example, that it makes it so that I'm happy to use mods. But even then, it can become a pain in the ass. Kerbal was, you know, was a pain when you'd have like your favorite modder would stop modding for the game or not update their mod, and then when the game changed, it made it kind of tough. You know, and I think mods are great. There are some great benefits to them. There's also some drawbacks where, like, you imagine, like, you know, a lot of people don't want to keep updating their mods. And it makes sense, you know, they made a mod, maybe they're not in love with it anymore. It's kind of like me with builds. Like, if I put out an old build and somebody's like, oh, I downloaded this build from 3 years ago, you know, and XYZ is not working, like, you know, sometimes I'm like, I'm just not going to go back to that mod, you know, or that build, you know, so I definitely, oh, there's one right there. I already have one out. You know, so I definitely get it where, you know, those modders don't want to go back. And the problem becomes, you know, if you get reliant on those add-ons or mods, and then they stop working, it kind of sucks. So it's, you know, it's a double-edged sword with mods. You know, but you definitely have to have support right off the bat to make it work well, you know. You know, and I also kind of think it makes the devs not want to make big changes that might be beneficial, because if they know they're going to kill a ton of mods, you know, with a change, they might just say they don't want to do it, you know, which is tough too. Is Vice dead? Vice is not dead, but Vice didn't get the views I wanted. Vice was an incredible amount of work. Vice was like days of work for each episode. It would be cool to have it back, but it's a lot of work, and unfortunately it wasn't getting the views, you know. You know, not that that's the biggest thing in the world. I enjoyed making it, but you know, it's kind of hard when you work that hard on something and it doesn't get watched. So that tends to suck a little bit. Let me see if I can bring up the Vice episodes. I'll check the view counts. So like the original Vice, where is it? 349 views. And then what was the second one? Second one was a lot of work. And that was 272 views. So that's kind of why Vice hasn't been why I didn't keep going with Vice. Was it was absolute minuscule amount of views for the amount of work it is, you know. There's the boat right there. Yeah, I can put out a fix video where I work 20 minutes on it and get like 3 times the views, and so it's just, well, not the most important thing, views. It is it's kind of tough, you know. Yeah, maybe do like a Vice short or something. Trying to see, trying to get the music so I can hear it a little bit too. Let's get that fixed. That's better. Like, especially like the way I was doing the Vice episodes, like it was going, you know, across the entire map on some of it, so it was like, it was really time consuming where, you know, if I maybe, you know, kept it to you know, did like a little scene here and there, would be a little bit easier. But let's grab Defib. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in the view counts on those. That's one of the reasons why I was kind of like blah. Alright, put you in there, son or daughter. Alright, let's get out of here. Can I put the defib away? I can. Okay, good. Here's some of that rescue content that some will say, no rescue in this rescue game. You should go do the rescue missions. But how's it going, Trippa? Good to see you, Trippa. How's it going there, Zippy? How are you? Started my own little survival world once again. Nice. Why do I need more light in my cabin? What's wrong with this light here? What's wrong with this white light here? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with it being bright and dimmable? What's wrong with my cabin lights? Cabin lights look fine to me. DCT transmission, yes. How's it going, you kind? I'm using the, right here, this one here. No, I don't want to just fast travel. North Meyer Outpost right here. I'm all over the place at this point. I own most of the, or a bunch of the spots. Way not. I don't know what way not means. Right, let's go get these peeps off. Giggity. And probably maybe go do a fuel run. I think fuel run maybe. We'll head back to FJ. Check on the fuel. Get rid of map vehicles. I don't need that on. Turn nav lights on anyway. I don't know what little wake means. Right, Friday midnight is the deadline for Challenge India. So if you're working on India, finish up your India. I gotta get them one by one here. I'll dump them on the bow first. Increase my efficiency here. Got another med kit on me here. Tend to need them. Alright, let's get these peeps out of here. Zing. Nice if I had a little trailer for the pathways. I could have get the people up there more effectively. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the pathway up, grab the van, and come down because I gotta get rid of one of them anyways, and then I'll load the people. Might start doing that instead of me running them all up and then having to deal with them. All right, let's get rid of our show. Idea. Let's grab a pathway and get this put away. I don't know why it always puts the flashlight in my hand. It's annoying. Ah, I hit the lip. I hit the lip that I was trying to avoid hitting. Hit that little bit of terrain there, and it was a hard stop. All right, let's get around it. Right there. I didn't know if it was just shading or if it was a hard lip, and it is most certainly a hard lip right there. All right, let's grab the van. Go pick the peeps up. Dog back in the water. I've rescued that dog from the water 3 times. He keeps going back out there. He might be a seal. Might be a seal. Alright, let's get these people loaded up into the hospital. Yeah, stick you right there. Alright, good. Just reading some chat here while I'm driving, as usual. Hopefully we don't crash. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I just didn't know what you meant. You pressurize your tanks to pump it up faster. How's it going there, Zachy? Good to see you. Alright, let's get these peeps delivered, make a little cash, keep that cash train healed up so that we get maximum casheronis for them. Come on, there we go. Alright. Alright. Hopefully we can get out of here and get all these people to despawn. Those are the people who were from the last mission, so we'll get out of here so they despawn. Nice, so that's about, what was that, 3, 9, and then another 3 on that. So that was 12 grand right there, not bad. And we'll head over to FJ, see how much fuel we have. Actually, the tanker truck, you know what, we might just let that tanker fill. It should be sitting there filling anyway. I should put some power connections on that, but... maybe we'll take out Tethys. If you guys see the announcement pop up, let me know. Por favor. Alright, good. So, van is put away. Let's get out of here. Take the ultralight. What was it? Oh, the ultralight had the throttle issue. That was the only issue with the ultralight. So let's head over to FJ and the ultralight. That needs testing. Probably, let's do something with that, I think. It needs to be clamped out. It can't go to more than a certain level on the propeller. So let's head to FJ. So let's grab that ultralight. I might make one little quick test change on it. Alright, let's see. I wanted to fix this. So right here is the prop pitch, and so let's fix that. So that's 0.35. Let's change that to 3, and then I want to clamp it out at, let's say, 7. So what is it, 0.3? No, that would be, let's see, that's not going to work. That'll go up to max 0.35, so that clamps it out doing it this way. Okay, let me see. Let's try that. Because it was giving me too much prop pitch on there. Let's try that out, see how that works for me. Alright, let's put the flaps down and take off out of here. Alright, make sure we have plenty of elevator trim. I don't think, let's go with 0 elevator trim for now. I'll control it manually. Alright. What the fuck is going on now? The prop pitch. Need more prop pitch. Alright. It's part of the testing. Yeah, so this one, it has prop pitch is added to the flaps. And so that makes it so that helps pick that nose up because the propeller is so high above the center of gravity. So I need all that prop pitch or else I can't. It's going to push the nose into the ground too much. So I need that prop pitch up, so. Let's add some more here. There we go. Oh, we're almost off there. There we go. All right, we're up. What? Fuck. I gotta not test things in my career world here. Yeah, but I gotta stop testing things in my career world. It's just too hard. I gotta test it off screen and then fix them there. Because this is the problem is the fuck prop pitch. All right, let's get that back. I won't test it. Let's take something we know works because this is gonna be a bitch to test. Take the awk with us. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. So that one's because it's so small and light. It is very touchy. Any sort of changes in center of gravity are accentuated. Okay. Start 2. Alright, that's up. Let's go ahead, release the parking brake, and let's get out of here. Alright, positive rate gear's coming up. Flaps coming up. Bring the prop back. Alright, we'll do some lights and turn on lights. Still don't know why that door is having problems because, like I said, it's literally the same door as the other one. So, same controls as the other door, and it's just that that port door that's having a problem. It's No, I don't do classic career. I do regular career, so I have everything unlocked. Myself, I have no real interest in having to unlock things. I want all my parts. Alright, so coming after, I need to do some instrument approaches in FJ. I do have bearing in here. I could do instrument approaches in this plane. But I need to get the bearing system finished up. So somebody was asking earlier, you know, I used to have the NDBs used to be how they are in real life. You'd actually have a ground station. I'll bring them up when I get over here. And it would report its GPS position. The problem was I started getting some SV environment issues with it. And so they would, so the SV environment issue would start to, what's going on here? I trim my throttle again. What's going on here? What the fuck is going on with this game right now? Okay. I don't know what that issue was. Pressed those. I was trying to do my artificial horizon. Oh, it's my W key on my keyboard. My W key's dicked up. I wonder if that's what happened with the Ultra Light. It happens in Takeoff, it's the worst. I have to like triple tap the W key to get to register. I should get a new keyboard, but I like this keyboard and they don't have this model anymore. So W key gets stuck and that doesn't register. I'm trying to pitch the nose down. I couldn't get the nose to pitch down. I checked. It's SV. SV environment is if there's something in the static vehicle environment. So it'd be a static vehicle causing issues in the world. So I had static vehicles that were part of that ADF setup, and they were causing the issue where, you know, they would cause a ton of lag because they wouldn't despawn, so they were all over the map. So I think it was making it so a lot of the map would never despawn. So I need to revisit it and see if I can fix it. Because ideally I would like to have physicalized stations. The problem with the GPS is I have to change every single airplane to make sure the GPS is fine, which is not a big deal in my world because I pretty much use the same seed all the time. But the whole point of having the ground stations was when you load in a different seed, the ground stations are actually tied to the chunks. So the NDB stations would actually go with the seed. So it didn't matter what seed you had. Like if military base was somewhere else, the radio still worked for military base because the shack moved with the actual island. So that was ideal, but didn't work right. So because it was banging an SV environment. I'm curious if I played with them, if I could get them to work again. Catch up. There we go. As I pitch the nose up, I need to add some power there. A little bit of a float. There we go. Taxi off. Alright, parking brake is set, lights can come off. Engines, and we're good. Alright, I got a pat way over here too. Alright, good. So we're over here now. Let's go ahead and we'll just grab something fast and we'll check. Yeah, what the hell's going on here? I'm having keyboard issues, maybe. Okay, let's see. Let's go check on the oil drilling. My keyboard is absolutely driving me nuts. I gotta work on that. What? Why is this one screwed up? Alright, let's see. Can't remember if this one's working or not. Some of them gonna need fixes from the pressure updates. Still have not been fixed, so. That was a great challenge, the big man hot hatch challenge. You know, it's when the restrictions are really good and a build challenge makes the challenge really great. You know, it was like this had to be a 3-cylinder, had to be a small car, so really, you know, you had to really like make some choices. It was tough to get the engine to fit in the inside the hood. Had to be front engine, I believe, was in the rules. You know, it had to be able to race on the track. Like, this one's twitchier than I would like. That's why I'm off-road here. And it's because it was a race car, so it had to be able to be pretty twitchy to be able to go around the racetrack. You know, so it was a nice challenge to have those restrictions on it. Yeah, I was talking about how, like, it literally changed the behavior of the car to move 30 mass somewhere. You know, it was that touchy, so it was good challenge. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll set the brake. Alright, how are we looking here? We have 1,653 gallons there. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Get up there. Alright, we're empty here. This one, this base is still... Okay, this is the older base, so I wanted to empty this. My god, my keyboard. If I have to get a new keyboard here, I'm going to be pissed off. W key's not behaving itself here. Alright, we're out of oil. Good. So I wanted to get rid of the oil in this so that I could put the new base in from the latest tutorial. So I believe, what it was, episode 4 on the tutorial. So that is, that we're going to put the base up from tutorial episode 4. So put some cool new things into this base from that, so... Yeah, my keyboard's ballsed up. I'm going to need to get a new keyboard, I'm thinking. Alright, let's grab the pump. And this was it here. So this is the new one. Let's go ahead and spawn that in. Alright. So this one's kind of cool. Let's go ahead and attach it first. So this one now has a PID-controlled pump. So the pump moves only as fast as necessary to maintain a full oil tank. We have a feed valve and a recirculation loop on this one. So go ahead and start it up. Alright, start that up. Those are good. And I'll reconnect the lines here as we start fractioning. What are you? You are, I believe... See if I can read out one of these. Might have to go in the tank. I can't remember which. I don't want to mix the fuels. Can't remember which one was which. I'm gonna no clip and check it out because I want to make sure that I don't put the wrong fuel in there. What I should do is have it read out. So that's what I'll do. And let's see. This is jet fuel. So jet is the rear tank. Okay, jet. And then the other one's diesel. Alright, good. Checking the state of the tractor. The tractor is making its own electricity, which I eventually want to plug them in. So, alright, we're coming up to temp there, so we'll just make sure this starts running before I leave. Let's check the tractor. Fuel should be fine in the tractor. Let me just check it. Yep, we're revved up here. Yeah, like this is, like, somebody was talking about, you know, still having cooling problems. Like, this is a big, like, 20 to 24 cylinder 1x1. I've had it running at, this is fake, so I can't tell you exactly what the RPS is because I have a multiplication factor to keep the numbers right. But, like, if you look at engine temp, it is, like, this has been revving like this for hours and hours in game. And engine temp is not above 41 degrees, so plenty of fuel there. We could fill up off this too, so it's revved up to make electricity so that I don't have to worry about, because the pumps run off of the electricity of the tractor, so I need it revved up to make electricity. So let's make sure this is pumping, and then we can go. Alright, coming up on temp here. Read some chat. How's it going there? Anton, how's it going? Yep, just Anton's new. Good to see Anton. Let's see. Yeah, I could do that. It's the W key. I gotta pull it and see what it is. Was behaving itself the other day. Is my game in the saving loop? Okay. Oh, I see it now. Okay. Alright, let's see. That's the first time I've had the saving loop. That's interesting. See if there's something I can do to kick it out. Maybe that could be the problem, too. Okay. How the hell to get it out of the saving loop? Trying to see what I can do to screw with it. Might not be anything I could do. I might have to boot it and load it. It's not the end of the world if I have to do that. Alright, let's do that now while I can. So, go ahead and drop the game out, and I didn't do that much. I'll give myself, what was it, 12 grand for the mission, so we'll just go and I will fix that, fortunately. See if the update's out. Be nice. That would be convenient if the update's out. Do that on a reboot. Right. Thanks for letting me know that, Tripper. I saw it a couple times, and then I just started paying attention to other things, but it's definitely good to get the game closed down while it's doing that. Let's quickly check and see, is the update out? Looks like viewed. No, somebody pinged me in discussions. I thought it was an update. I have been pinged unofficial. I got somebody trying to correct me on the official who was wrong, so I gotta go answer this. Try to fix it. Alright, let me reboot the game. I don't see the update out yet. We can answer this person live here while I'm waiting for the game to reboot. Alright, so here we go. This person is giving me shit about my instrument approaches here. I was a commercial airline pilot, so I could be wrong, but what do I know? Should call it RNP or GLS since it's based on GPS approach chart. No, it isn't based on a GPS approach chart. It's based on an NDB. So let's bring up the Vero Beach. NDB to 1-1. So I love when people correct me and they're wrong too. That's great. Oh my god. Let's see. NDB 11 right at Vero Beach. There's the NDB 11 right at Vero Beach. Open that image address. Okay. Let's do MDA altitude, MDA alt. I was a flight instructor, so again, things have changed since I've done it, but I was a flight instructor. All right, let's see. So that is the first issue we had. final approach fix on the NDB is true, but yeah, so okay, let's see. What's the next issue he had? Just trying to get all the information here. This stuff bugs me when people do this. That's why I'm doing it. Trying to find the FAR for it. MDA FAR. There you go. Trying to just get these done here. I won't let this take too long, but NDB, MDA. Why is that? Approach, there we go, okay. Where's the MSA? Alright, I'll get off this, guys. I'm just trying to finish answering this. Alright, I should just learn to ignore some of this shit too, but that's never gonna happen. Did we get an update yet? I'm trying to see if the update's in. Let's check that. No announcement yet. Sometimes it comes up on the site first, so we'll have to see. Alright, game's rebooted. Let's I gotta fix that problem with the save. Let's do that real quick here. Let's just fix that issue here. So I just want to put that money in that I lost. So that's really all that happened. So I had the infinite saving bug, so hopefully that doesn't come back. Yeah, what do we have? 12 grand. So with that, 37. 37. All right. All right, so that'll fix the money that we lost from that issue, and let's load it up. Yeah, a lot has changed since I was a flight instructor and a airline pilot as well, but NDB approaches, they pretty much don't have any anymore. They all went to GPS. So part of this person's commentary could be based off of the fact that, you know, they've never done an NDB approach, or, you know, in their lifetime, the NDB approach is pretty much unused. They were barely used when I learned them in college, and we had a couple. They pretty much converted them all to GPS. There were new standards in GPS which allowed for vertical navigation. I've chosen not to do that because I want to do the approach how I want to do it. I want to have an old school NDB. So that's kind of, it frustrates me when I get corrected on shit like that. It's like, I'm trying to do an old school NDB. You don't understand that, yet you want to comment on this. You know, their commentary on the MSA is minimum sector altitude, and so you take the highest point within 25 nautical miles, which is Mount Goldblum at 1,450 feet, and you add 1,000 to it for MSA. Now, in mountainous terrain, which, as far as I'm concerned, this is not in mountainous terrain, you would have an ESA, escape sector altitude, which would be 2,000 feet above the mountain. So I don't think they're correct on that either. So, but yeah. So let's see. I'll read some chat here. I said hi to Anton, I believe. Yep. Great. Awesome. Illusion. Yeah, I've the problem is it can clog up, so I'm not interested in that. I don't need higher temps. I'm playing with it some more. I'll test it eventually to see if there's any more efficient ways to do it. Hi from Argentina, Ivan. How are you? Hi, welcome there, Eldon. Yeah, it's weird. It says Manda was typing. I thought you were typing. Yeah, I did some testing with the pressure, and I didn't have any change. So, if it fills, see, this is the problem, is we can pressurize liquids. So I'm not sure if we're having, if pressurizing the liquids is what's causing some of this temperature changes, or the pressurizing the gases. And I would rather not screw with it, because at some point you're going to get to 60 and now you start clogging stuff up. And so you have to make it more complex. You need to understand that these tutorials are basic tutorials. That's why they're called stormworks basics. The point is to get somebody who's so frustrated they can't get the thing to work at all to have a working system that they can use, and to make it simple enough that they can get it to work. Making it too complicated is antithetical to the point of a stormworks basics tutorial. That's why I don't do everything to get it as perfect. So, yeah, that's one thing I was thinking is the air is holding temperature and you're venting the air temperature. You definitely lose temp when you're venting the hot diesel and jet fuel, which makes sense. It's like pouring hot water out of the pot and then adding cold water. It's going to cool down. Again, as far as I'm concerned here, let's no clip over there. There's really there's no point. I don't need 9 million liters of diesel and jet fuel. I just don't. I need enough diesel and jet fuel to operate my thing here. And I also don't want $28 million in my bank account, because what's the point of doing missions if you have too much money? So that's another thing, is I don't do metas. I don't try to have constant millions of dollars, because then what do I do then? It's pretty much game over at that point. All right, we pumping out here. Let's see. I want to get this oil emptied here. Let's fix that. Okay, we're almost out of... I'm waiting for this to finish. My system works well, so I don't really find too much of a need to dick with it all that much. All right, let's despawn this. We'll put the new rig in. Not that much fuel left in there. All right, there we go. All right, let's detach the pipe. Let's put the new rig in. So this is from the last video. 2.9. I did some testing yesterday with just trying to pressurize the lines, and I wasn't getting really all that much extra, and it really doesn't save that much efficiency. I'll try to play with the numbers a little and do some more testing, but I'm also trying to do tutorials and other stuff too, so really don't. This is working again. Mainly the point why I started that tutorial series, people said you can't fraction, or I've got 8 furnaces and I can't fraction. It's impossible. Devs fix the game. The game's not broken. Fractioning works. It works fine. It's intuitive. There are some things. I ordered a bunch of stuff because people couldn't figure it out, or didn't have the patience for somebody to make a tutorial so that they could figure it out. And so the devs will neuter the challenge of the game sometimes if people aren't figuring it out quick enough. And so I try to get out a quick tutorial series that will show people, yeah, it's working. Please, devs, don't neuter the game. That's kind of the long and short of that. There's different contingencies of the community where some people, you can imagine there are 10-year-old people who have never taken a physics course in their life who play this game, and so the issue with them is they don't know anything about physics for obvious reasons. They're 10, and they want to play the game, and so they get very confused, and so they ask the devs, hey, make the game easier. And then you get other people who want this game to be a complex engineering game, and like me, and I don't want them to neuter the game, so I'd rather, make some quick, easy tutorials that people can figure out, so that, so that hopefully the devs don't just keep neutering the game and making it easier and easier and easier and easier and easier, because part of the cool part of this game is the complexity. Is there are plenty of these building games that are just ultra easy, and I don't want them to neuter it. And so by kind of hopefully demystifying some of these things, they don't neuter the game, frankly. What's that helicopter doing? There he is. What you doing there, son? Where you going with that container? Is that my commerce you taking there, sir? All right, so you see the pump now, it's PID controlled, so it will slow down, and it just brings in enough oil to maintain full oil tank. I just want to get this back up over temp, and then we'll go. All right, let's read some chat. Yeah, that's the thing, is the balancing of it. It's like, you know, for example, like somebody was commenting on one of my modular engine tutorials. They're like, "Oh, I was able to add an I value and a D value to your modular engine tutorial, and I was able to get the RPM within 0.00001 of your set RPM." And I told them, like, this is a basics tutorial. Imagine it's your first day playing the game. Imagine you've never taken a physics course in your life. Imagine you don't know anything about engines, and I'm trying to teach you how to balance, like spending 40 minutes PID tuning the P, the I, and the D to get it perfect. A real reciprocating engine, you don't get it within 1 RPM. Like if the air pressure changes, if it's a cold day, the RPM is going to be, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 off of what it is because of the increased air density. And so this person is trying to get the RPM within 6 digits of accuracy. First of all, that's unreasonably accurate. You don't need it that much. And then you're trying, you know, they're not understanding who the audience is. The audience is, it's a basics tutorial for somebody who is frustrated that they can't even get their engine to work at all. And I'm showing them that if you just put in a p-value and it's around this number, you're going to be good. And your engine's going to work. And so some people will try to make everything within 6 digits of accuracy. You don't need that a lot of times. You know, a lot of times, you know, you just, you know, one, think about where it is in real life. It doesn't need to be that accurate because, you know, you could make every PID, you could spend 3 hours on every one of your PIDs and get it tuned to be perfect and beautiful. But as far as I'm concerned, that's a waste of my time to spend that much time on it. I would rather spend 5 minutes, get the PID where it needs to be. Like things like autopilots need a lot of tuning, but something like the p-value on the RPM match on an engine, you don't. Like you can just put in a p-value and it works great. Most of my builds just have p-values for their RPM, and it works great. You don't need it to be that precise. It wouldn't be that precise in real life. Like some of the new electronic ignitions are getting more precise in that regard, but it doesn't need to be that precise. So it's like, you know, sometimes that nitpicking is just like, it doesn't need to be that nitpicked, you know, frankly. All right, good. We're pumping back in here. All right, we're good to go here. So for the guys who have the infinite saving bug, is it when you save? Is that when it does it? Because I'd be interested to see that. I might wait a while to save then if that's it. Let's see what we want to do here. Let's go out on, I think I'd like to take out Tethys. Parking brakes on. All right, let's take out Tethys. You know, so that's kind of why, like, I don't dislike, you know, the comments, of course, when people are like, oh, you can do this and make it more efficient. But it's just, that's not necessarily the point of that tutorial. You know, if the tutorial was, let's make it as 100% efficient as possible, yep. But, you know, I'm still testing with the pressure. I did a test yesterday off of, how do you pronounce it? L Sunton's comment. You know, I was testing it. You know, and I wasn't really getting much change. Like, for example, let's say I fill that fraction tower 100% with oil, diesel, or jet fuel. The temperature will go up more. I'll get it up around, like, 325. You know, but, you know, as soon as you start pushing off your hot liquids, you're going to be, you're going to be bringing in cold liquid from the tank. Now, I could preheat the oil from the feed tank, but the point of the video was not to make it as, you know, 100% efficient as possible. The point was to show that you can do it with one furnace, and the reason was it was answering a very specific question. People were saying that fraction's broken, I've got 8 furnaces, and I can't even heat with 8 furnaces. And my answer to that, you know, statement, it wasn't really a question, was you don't need 8 furnaces. With 1 furnace, it's possible. Now, could you make it more efficient with 2? Absolutely, of course you could. But the point was people with 8 thinking that more better. And my ultimate point was more not better. You know, the issue being that, you know, their thinking of more better was actually making it worse. And so that hopefully they would understand that and you know, kind of change tact a little bit. Again, because I really didn't want the devs to go screw with it when it didn't need it. Let's go ahead and check on the lock on this. All right. This was having some behavior I wasn't thrilled with. So this was not strong enough in the yaw axis, and the problem was if the ship is moving, there's a lot of momentum, and so the whole mass of this crane is moving opposite to the direction of the ship, of course, Newton. And so the issue was this does not have enough power. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put in another pivot here, and that will hopefully double up the power on it. Where is it? Okay, it's right there. So let's try here. And so what I'll do is we'll cut into here, like so, and I'll cut you, and I'll cut you. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll duplicate this. Not all that. Let's copy it and I'll fix it. So I'm just going to double up the power on this crane so that hopefully the yaw will now be able to, it will stay in place when I'm moving. All right, so let's put this in. So let's double this up like so. All right. And so now hopefully it's doubly powerful and we can, like, even when the ship's moving, I still want to be able to operate the crane. So let's go electricity. This needs to then go to there. And then that will go. Okay, this is my problem with the lock too, is lock's not being powered here. I gotta get rid of this here. Get rid of you. You're pinned. Go there. Let's just go ahead. This is on the base station. That goes. We'll just do this. Don't necessarily need to do it like that, but we'll do that. Trying to keep that powered. All right, then we want to take the yaw control here. Yaw control will go there. All right, and then hopefully this is now stronger so that when this is moving, the yaw works. Let's just spawn it really quick. I shouldn't be testing in my career game, especially with it filling this much fuel in here. But hopefully we can just move and get out of here. Don't break your ankle, you ding-dong. There we go. Okay. All right, and so it's yacht. Okay, so that's working. Hopefully that's doubly strong now to have those two pivots. Did I merge the bitch? I can't remember if I merged it or not. And then I want to see if this relocks itself. Okay, good. It locks itself again. All right. So did I merge that correctly? I don't know. I didn't merge the pivot, so that's not going to work. I really don't want to recall this. Again, I shouldn't be testing this in the career game, but we'll go and we'll do a mission. Let me make sure I merge this up correctly here. So right there is where I didn't merge it. So nope, don't do that, you scum. So let's get in here. All right, there we go. So now that should have two pivots to rotate in the yaw axis to hopefully overcome the inertia. So this is Tethys is the new name. So Tethys ship backup. Okay, Tethys ship backup. I put this on here. Finally named it a couple days ago. So it's Tethys. And that is on there. All right, good. Let's launch Tethys. I still need to work on a bunch of the microcraft for this, but all right, and we'll go out to sea. What do I want to take with me? Do I want Shroom? I need the skiff. I'm going to launch some of the stuff separately and bring it on board. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's grab skiff. I want to be able to do missions. Oof, I took all the diesel. Crap, I took all the diesel. So let's just put this back. I took all the diesel, so that's not helpful. That is not helpful. All right, let's go ahead and we should be able to, we'll go out, we'll head out, we'll just do some missions in this. All right, oh, broke the ankle. Don't fall up again, please, you scumbag. All right, we're gonna have no clip up there. Got a little bit of a slowdown going on here. Let's head up and we'll go out. We'll do some missions. So we'll test the new crane out too. I don't have any lighting in here. Eventually I need to put some lighting in here. All right, let that go. Let's put on the anchor light. Still need navigation system on this. All right, let that start getting going there. Read some chat. I like to get it pretty accurate so the motor stops bouncing just because the engine noise irritating the game. Yeah, I never go past 20 RPS, so yeah, you don't have to get it that accurate. Like mine gets within a couple RPS of where it needs to be. I do an undershoot value, and the whole reason I do that is just again, you know, it's hard enough to get to help a new player understand the P value. Then you have to get them to understand the D value, and so. So what I do is an undershoot method. So like say that I want about 15 RPS. Essentially what I'll do is keep increasing the p-value until I get to 15. All that's doing is the p-value is undershooting to where I set it, but it's not undershooting where I want it. So that still does not overshoot undershoot too much, and it prevents it from doing that overshoot undershoot stuff. So usually works fine like that. Oh, you're typing from a Raspberry Pi? Oh, you're going to run stormworks on it? Yeah. How's it going there, Rasmus? Good to see you. Whenever I'm on the industrial island, it happens. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've ever had it happen before. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it's when the game's not settled and end up saving, because I was doing something and it had that hiccup while I was saving, and so I wonder if it then gets stuck in the loop. You know, because I just no clipped, or no, what did I do? I think I no clipped by the bench, and then I put the plane away, and it did the So curious what's causing it. But we're supposed to have some fixes today, and some. I need to index all these gauges. These didn't get indexed, and not grabbing on the helm here. Grab the helm, you dickhead. I'm trying to steer here, and he's not on the helm. All right. So let's get Tethies out there. Let's put on we're navigating now, so let's put on regular nav lights. Yeah, let's shut off the override on weather. All right, and we'll go ahead and I don't want nighttime on yet, just because I have no interior lighting in this at all. So let's check everything. Lightning, aggressive animals, that's fine. All right, good. So let's see, we have no mission, so let's go out there. I don't have a bed on this shit and crap. Let's head up here and we'll jump in a bed. I want to get away from the Meyer Island here. We'll get up to the, we'll get up here in the Sawyer Islands. It'd be nice to have a little change of scenery for a little bit. So we'll head up to the Sawyer Islands and we'll use the bed there. I need to put a bed on Tethies. So. All right, let's go full speed here. This gauge needs to be filled out with my speed gauge, so trying to take this out too to see what I need. So I'll start making lists. What happened to the music? Why? Why music? Oh, it's at the end of the playlist. All right, go back. All right. So we're pretty fast. I actually down-geared this so that we can have good towing capabilities. So this should tow really well. So I'm going to go test the crane. I don't have any sort of autopilot on this yet. So I'm going to, hopefully we're in a safe direction here. Famous last words. And so I want to test, can I, with the new pivot on there, can I yaw this back to center? And the answer is no. So even that's not powerful enough to center it. So like I'm trying to fight the momentum of the ship. Like if I let go, it wants to go left. So even with the second one, it wants to do it. So I'll just put it with the flow of the ship, and then I'll fix it when we stop. So ideally, I would like to get that so that I can move the crane. I can move the crane back. The other thing that would be kind of cool is to put a lock on this side, and that way I can lock it in 2 different positions. Would be kind of cool too. So I might add that on there. But Not the end of the world, but it's not my favorite that I can't push that crane back to its lock position when the ship is moving. A lot of interior work to be done in this. I just wanted to kind of keep this ship in an always ready state so we can still use it in the series. Alright, let's see. I don't have a compass on this at all, so we're kind of just dead reckoning the best I can here. Alright, we're going to head up there. Sawyer South, we'll go take a nap, try to do some couple missions. I'm trying to take some notes on what I need to do next on this ship so that kind of can keep moving and improving the ship. That's kind of the best way to figure out what your ship needs, is just put in a career game. Let's see, I need to do a new... I usually just do a Google Docs for this. That way I have them all and I can pull them up. So this is going to be Tethys. Tethys. Alright, and let's see, what do we need? So, trying to categorize it a little bit. Let's go... Bridge. Bridge. Alright, let's see. So, bridge, and then I usually just do check boxes. That way, that's kind of nice. That always feels good to be able to check something off a list. So let's look at the bridge and see what we need in here. So we need AP, nav, autopilot, nav, speed monitor, speed depth monitor. Alright, speed depth monitor needs to go in. Index the... see what the gauges are. So we have piston and propeller RPM. Piston and prop RPM. And so the reason why they're not indexed currently is I need to see where they go. So 72,970. 72,970. Okay. Current at 72,970. Okay, so that'll tell me where to index them. All right, let's see what else we got here. That's all pretty good there. I still need Harbor Gen. So that is all stuff on there. So let's put engineering as a category. Engineering. Son of a bitch. Engineering. It's starting to bug me. This trying to do this. There we go. Come on. All right, bold underline there. All right, engineering. So we need to add Harbor Gen. Diesel will be easiest, but I think I'm going to go with steam. But we have to keep the furnace running, but it's pretty efficient, so that's not the end of the world to do a Harbor Gen off the regular steam system. So I think that's what I'll do. Keep everything steam. Let's see. We'll do crane as a category. And that's going to try to fix the yaw. So fix yaw power. All right, fix yaw power. Then I need a aft, what does it be? Aft position lock. Aft pause lock. Okay. Let's see where we're at. I'm going to just turn on the... okay, we're good. I just want to make sure I don't run into something. All right, what else do we need here? Let's see. So that microcontroller needs to go. We're doing pretty well on this in here. Beds, we need beds and staterooms. At least one stateroom so that I can, you know, sleep and get missions. So let's do living quarters. So that way I can, I don't have to segment that out too much. So living quarters. We need a galley. We need beds. All right, so that's in there. Galley and beds. We need a med room. That will be helpful for rescues. Lighting. Lighting. All right, good. Lighting. I have no lighting. So I always try to remember these things. I haven't been in this build in quite a while, so it's nice to just be able to go and do that. I'm just going to dump the fog. Can't really see anything with the fog, and I don't have a nav. I don't even have a compass on this yet, so we need to put a nav system on this sooner than later. What do I have for money? I got a little bit of cash. Could fill up with some diesel, but I think I'm just going to wait. Yes, I need more dials. I need to fill them out is the problem. They're kind of just placeholders at the moment. Like, for example, this is going to be the nav panel. This is going to be pretty much all nav because you figure that's going to be a heading hold. We're going to have a 2-block for the GPS keypad. And then I think what I'm going to do here is put a 2x2 monitor in here and do... It'll be a multi-position waypoint system, but it will be old school. I don't like super modern shit. I really don't. So like it will be, you'll put in position 1, and it will put in waypoint 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and they'll all show their coordinates. So it'll show X, Y coordinates on waypoint 1, waypoint 2. I find I would rather dead reckon. Like I really enjoyed the doing the instrument flying in the video last night. It's so much cooler to me that when you're flying around the fog and you can't see anything and you arrive where you meant to. That's rewarding. Like seeing a moving map is not rewarding to me. It's not cheating, but like for me it feels like cheating. Like turning this on and knowing exactly where I am is not rewarding. Looking out there and seeing, okay, we have Refinery Island there. We're right here off Coast Guard. We have an island directly to our right. Okay, so like to dead reckon that, you would come in here and you would look and you say, okay, we're headed directly here. This is at about, oh, I don't know, right there. And then we're a beam here. So we're probably right here. And then coming in and actually then turning it on and saying, oh, fuck, turn the wrong thing. And then, oh, look, we're right where we thought we were. You know, that's much more rewarding for me than to have, you know, a moving map where it's like, yep, always know where we are. You know, it's kind of when I grew up. You know, I grew up in a time where there's no GPS and everything else. Even when I started, delivering, it was, we had a map book, and so you memorized all the street names. You know, and now, like, you can see Amazon does this all the time because Amazon is the requirements to be a driver is very little. And so they don't really, I don't think they memorize the street numbers, the street names, the numbers. Like, we used to be able to tell another driver, like, you'd give them perfect directions to the right street, and then you could tell them the color of the house that was number 5. And that was because you had to know that. Like, you had to remember these things. And because you remembered it, you could tell another driver the color of the house they were looking for. You know, and then with GPS, if you just put, 5 on the street in the GPS, it's going to show you, and then you look at the mailbox, and there it is. You never remember the color of the house because you don't have to. And so it's you lose some of that doing that. So I think I kind of like the old way a little bit better, you know. Reading some chat. How's it going, Citrus? Oh, yes, I said that to you. How's it going, Basilicious? Good. Oh, very nice there, Basilicious. I saw your, let's bring up Basilicious's post. I won't bring up the comment, but I'll bring up the post. Where was it? In general, Basilicious? The little thing you showed me? There it is. Yep, I found it. All right, let's show this. This is something Basilicious has been working on, which is awesome. It exceeds expectations, as is usual with a Basilicious creation. So, can I make this big? Yeah. So watch this. So this is the needles. So when you would turn on the correct frequency, the needles will pop in, and they did a great job with that. Like, it even has the tags, the tails, because there's a little round actuator here, and there's a round actuator here, and so he's got the black tails. It looks fantastic. I like how it bounces in. You know, that looks just like it should. So that's excellent work as usual, Basilicious. So I love it. It's great. Okay, thank you, Basilicious. I'll take a look at that. But yeah, so really, really excellent work as usual on that. All right, let's not hit this island. Citrus is my welcome ambassador. Sometimes he beats me to the wave. It's funny, like I could code the bot in so the bot automatically waves, but the reason I don't do it is because if somebody comes in who's like it's a spam account or a a spam bot, I don't want to wave at the spam bot. That's why I didn't do it. But yeah, that looks great, Basilicious. That came out really good. That way I can get into some VORs. So like the difference between an NDB and a VOR is the VOR you set a course. So kind of we can talk about this while I'm traveling. Let's try to see where we're at here. Do I go to Coast Guard? I don't know. We're not that far. I can't really tie up anyway. So we'll move over here. Yeah, it's really good. I'm thrilled with it. Basilisk is really good. Built a starter boat that I used, and I used Dead Reckoning to complete a few missions later. I installed display as reward. Yep. Yeah, it's a good way. There's nothing wrong. Ooh, there we go. There's nothing wrong with, automation or stuff like that, but it's nice to learn the fundamentals. For example, like the guy that bugged me there, it wasn't his fault, but he's like, a lot of times, like, you don't understand why somebody's building their build a certain way. And so it's kind of like, it'd be like, say I make something analog, and somebody's like, oh, you should put a bunch of Lua on there. They're missing the point. The point was I wanted it to be analog, or I want it to be old school. And so they kind of miss the point sometimes. So it's kind of like that guy missing the point, that I didn't want a modern, because, kind of the history of it, I haven't caught up. I have not kept up with it enough myself, as, I have not flown professionally for quite a few years now. But they changed the way things were going. Back when I was still flying, a lot of the GPS stuff was pretty new for aviation. And so, for example, there were laws where you couldn't do primary GPS. You could only use GPS as a backup. And so for those reasons, vertical navigation is very important. And so when I was flight instructing, for example, you still could not do vertical navigation on GPS as a primary method of vertical nav. And so because of that, you could not have the minimums down to 200 feet because the precision was not there and people were going to get killed. And so, you were not allowed to do that. So what you had to do is you had to use the primary nav, which in that case would be NDB, and the minimums for that was higher. And I believe they've changed it again. I was looking today and it said 300 feet. It used to be, I believe, 500 feet, if memory serves. And so they decreased the minimums even more. So, some people need to understand that things change over time, and some of us are building period pieces. And so, like, that ADF system is built to be old school because it's the most challenging of approaches. And I want a fun, challenging experience because, again, I find it more rewarding. And so, I don't want an approach that goes down to 200 feet, as a precision approach, because I'm building an approach that would be used in the 80s, And so it has the minimums of that period. And I'm using another, I was using Vero Beach as a reference with a 760 circle rate on it, So I don't want low minimums. The point is, and again, this person was missing it from the official, was they're missing the point is, if I need to go down to 200 feet, I want to do an ILS. I was talking about it with you guys yesterday, is I want to build some ILSs later and some VORs. So I don't want my NDB to have the same level of precision as an ILS. The NDB is a non-precision approach. The ILS is a precision approach. I want the precision approach to be down to 200 feet. I want the non-precision approach to be down to, in this case, 750 is what I put. And so doing this specifically, so they didn't understand why I did it that way, yet, are commenting, you got this wrong. It's like, no, you're missing the point. The point is to make it old school. The point is to follow the old set of rules when I was a flight instructor, because for nostalgia reasons, So sometimes people miss that, They miss why somebody's building something the way they are, So that's why it frustrates me a little. it's correcting somebody on something that, it'd be like saying, oh, that speedo should be digital. No, it shouldn't be digital. That person wanted an analog speedo. So let's go ahead and check the chats. Yeah, but really good work on that basilisk. It came out great. How could I use winches? How could I use winches when towing something so that they are always same length and rope? If you have a medium winch or above, it will read out its current length and how long it is. So you would set it, you could PID control it. And so say, for example, you put the PID on there, you clamp it to 1, -1. When it's at 1, it will let the winch out. When it is at -1, it will let the winch in. All right. And so let's say you want both of them to be at, I don't know, 20 meters. So when the port winch is at 20 meters, and if you set 20 meters, like, for example, let's say you make it so the port winch is the master winch, so whatever the port winch is set to, the starboard winch will follow. So you set the port winch to 20. The port winch will let out as much cable until it hits 20. So the PID will go up to 1, and it will start to let out rope. As soon as it gets close to 20, it will start to back off, and now it's below 1, the winch will stop letting winch out. It will stop letting cable out. Then you'll have winch 2 does the same thing. It's going to try to mimic winch 1. You could do it where they just set both of them. And so, like, say you did it so you set both of them. So you say both of them you want 20. So it's going to let out port and starboard until it reads 20. So hopefully that makes sense. What is that in the water? We got something in the water. If it's an animal, we can't do anything about it. Let's see. Unless it's a dog. Where is he? I saw him. Right. Yep, it's a crate. Let's go get that. We're still in money mode here. It looks like we have a lot of money. We have 130 left. We have 300 something total. But this thing, it has 30,000 liters of diesel in it. So, let's see. Do I have... Okay, so I have no fuel tanks in here. Fuel readout. So I need that at some point. I think I have it below. Where is it? There's the crate. All right, we'll grab this crate. Any money I can get right now, we want. All right. Be nice if I had that skiff, but we couldn't take the skiff because I used up all the diesel. All right, there's 9 grand. I'm just going to no-clip on. I'll probably add a little door here that opens up and you can get it on and off, but I have yet to do that. Let's check fuel here. So, okay, these are not plugged in yet. I haven't plugged these in yet, so I need to work on this panel. But yeah, that's how I would synchronize my winches. Just trying to see. I'm not going to get off again for a crate, but we're going to go and take a nap here and get a mission. Trying to think where I can despawn this base. Just Spy Cakes is the only one I own, I think. Let's see what we own for bases. I might buy another base. I like to leave a little financial pressure, as I've said before. I want to have... I want to be short on money all the time. It's what makes it interesting for me is... why do I go do a job? Why do I go do a mission? I do it because at the end of the day, I have objectives and goals. And if I had 28 million in the bank, I wouldn't I'm not going to go do a 9,000 mission. And then, that's, I think, one of the ways people can get bored is, by having a little bit of financial pressure, it gives you that incentive to go do something to make you some money, So let's actually do this. Let's buy... I don't want to... this ship has no autopilot right now, so it is slow to operate. And so, what I would do is, this is fine for, a career build series episode, like a regular one. But, for live, I don't want to just be putting around the ship all day. I want to kind of be a little bit more active. So what I'm going to do is we'll buy this. We'll put this away. And maybe make a couple... I'll make the changes in the custom game later. I'll check on the update. But... we'll go do some other stuff, and then we'll have a new base, which will be convenient. This is also a nice container port, So we'll be able to start moving some containers a little bit more regularly. This is also a fishing sale point, so that's nice. We can fish from here. And then that will bring us down about to 80 grand. And so that will start to give me a little bit of financial pressure. The other thing is I want to be moving fuel all the time. So, like, if you look right here, we're out of diesel now, but we have the pump here. So we have good access to diesel here. So whenever I get a chance, I want to move the diesel out of FJ and put it in my other bases. So, like, transitioning up here, buying this base and selling. Like, we could even sell some diesel, but I'm not going to. By buying this base and despawning, this base will now have the 12,000 liters of diesel. So if we want to operate out of this base, we now have some diesel. So that's another good thing to do. I can do a quick, I can show you, Zippy, here how to do that winch business. Let's check. Update yet? No, not in the announcement channel. Sometimes it's weird, too. Like, where it comes up is funky. I'm just checking the Discord here. All right, here we go. Let's start paying attention to what I'm doing here. Let's go ahead and we're gonna, if I can hit the right keys here, QE that side. So we're just gonna come in on the starboard screw. All right, now we're gonna zero and we're gonna start pushing port. That's gonna rotate us. See how it rotates us really nicely. Now we're gonna go zero on that. We're gonna come up on starboard. So that's gonna push us towards the dock. So you notice I'm leaving the rudders where they were. And then I'm going to actually come a little bit left on the rudder. I don't have a rudder indicator yet. I need that. So by coming up on just starboard, it's going to push me towards the dock because I'm not putting bow thrusters or stern thrusters on this. Now I'm coming back on the port, and that's trying to rotate the ship to the port side a little bit. Now I'm going to go full right rudder, and that should start swinging the stern in and pushing the bow in as well. And now I'm going to bring back port. And now bring it back up again. And that should get that stern. All right, bring back the starboard just a hair. That should tuck the stern right in. And zero. And we're docked. So. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to shut off damage. Again, I talk about this, why I do this. It's not realistic. These tires are supposed to be fenders to protect the ship from getting damaged. They don't do anything, so I shut damage off as kind of a way to simulate how it should be. Alright, and we're in slow mode at the moment, so I'm just going to quickly no-clip over, and we'll buy this. And we'll put the ship away, and that will give us some fuel in this base. So a little bit of a slow-mo going on here. Alright, good. So that's put away. Let's make sure we don't get infinite saving bug, please. Alright, good. So let's save it myself. We'll do 14 on that. All right, good. So we're saved up. Where do you... That's probably why I'm having slowdown, is this dude coming in. All right, we're in good shape now. All right, good. So we can work out of this base now a little bit. Let's check containers real quick. We're not going to do a container, but now we have another container port. So trying to buy as many of these bases as I can. Let's go ahead and take a quick sleep, and I'll check and see if the update's out. I don't think it is yet. Nope, not out yet. So not that late. It's pretty normal for it. So. See, do we get a mission? Okay, no clips on. That's why we're getting a mission way the hell over there. I meant to shut it back off. Alright, let's sleep again. Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, maybe it's the containers coming in. What processor am I running? 11th Gen i7. Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Alright, we got a Johnny here. Small speedboat, 5 thou, 1 casualty. Let's go hit it and quit it. Get that guy moving. I have no clip off again now. Now let's go ahead and let's take this. Let's take the little skiff for the home ship and make sure it performs well. Why is it so laggy right here? Why is it stuck underwater? That's weird. Okay. I don't know what the hell that's doing. Spawned underwater. Now, oh, you know what it is? It's the stability system. So it's spawned underwater and it doesn't want to come back up. So that's why. Okay, let's drag it up onto the surface here. Okay, let's get in there. Alright, 6. Yep, alright. So this is the little skiff for Tethys, so I want to get this. This should be good, but I want to test it out anyway to make sure that we're all set. And so it should have been over here is where the rescue was. Somewhere in this neighborhood. So let's, yeah, so we're looking, it's going to be south, west of the lighthouse here, right off the peninsula, a little bit past the peninsula. So there's the peninsula. We expect it to be southwest, so like somewhere in this neighborhood here. And it won't pop up till we get close anyway. Yep, too stable. It's got the stability system on there, and it just didn't want to come up because the fins were keeping it in position. Let's see. Checking for loot crates. Like, now that we're in a tiny little boat, I could actually beach it. We could go do that. I don't know, what is it doing now? That's interesting. It doesn't have a lateral stability system. I see the boat now, it's right there. It doesn't have a lateral stability system. It just might be locking in position for some reason. I don't know why. This is pretty fast. It doesn't look that fast, but like, put it sideways like that, that's pretty fast. So I'm trying to think, where's the close hospital? It's got to be up there, right? Right here, yeah. So it's not too bad. Well, see, there's one thing I wish the devs would do. They're getting better at this. Like these bases, like this is one of my favorite bases now, North Mire. It's got the sea and land, and then we have FJ, which has sea, land, air, train. And so I think they're getting better at that. Not every base needs to have every type, and it's kind of cool they don't, because it makes them a little bit unique and different and actually give them different value. But it also makes it very challenging that it makes traversal around the map kind of a pain, because, like, for example, I can't spawn a land vehicle here, so I can't do container handling here with a land vehicle. I can't bring somebody here and then put them on a car and drive them up to the hospital. So certain bases I'm cool with, like, not having the ability to launch everything, but like some of them just logistically it makes sense. For example, if there's a hospital there, you're going to want to bring people there. You need to be able to transfer from a boat to the land vehicle, and so that kind of needs it. And then those small land bases, like that new beginner base on the Mire Islands, You know, it's nice you can launch an airplane there too, or a helicopter, because it's outside. How you doing there, friend? Let's go. You know, so they're definitely you can kind of see how they've changed, how they do certain things, which is kind of cool to see. You know, see if I hopefully I don't knock this boat like crazy when I put this person in. Okay, good. Um, you know, you can kind of see how they have changed some of the methodology that they've done on these things, which is good. You know, what I would really like to see is a static vehicle workbench at each of the container ports so that you can put cranes for loading ships. That would be really cool. You'd be able to launch it in and out. Like you might say you get a Liebherr straddle carrier, you could put out a Liebherr straddle carrier and straddle carry things in. That would be really cool because, you know, you wouldn't have to have the crane spawned in at all times, which would be lagfest. You know, I'm curious if they're afraid of the you know, part of the problem is I think it's an issue with multiplayer in the game is, you know, I don't mind local multiplayer, but because they have servers that are pretty much the Wild West, and I don't know if do they have official servers? I don't even know. Because there are servers that are the Wild West where people have no rule sets, where anybody and their brother can come and join and just absolutely cause havoc. It's not good press for the game to see the game like, you know, at 2 FPS because people did unreasonable things in the multiplayer session. And so that's kind of gross. And it makes it, I think, so the devs are afraid, oh, we can't do X, Y, and Z because it would make multiplayer worse and it would make the game look bad. And so the real answer to that is, okay, we'll make it so you can shut it off. But the problem is, like, say a server owner doesn't shut off floating ice. And then they're like, oh my god, the game's so laggy, and it makes the game look bad, where it's like, if you just uncheck that box for floating ice, your multiplayer server would run fine because you have 23 people on the server. It can't take 23 people, all their builds, and floating ice. Too much. But in a single-player game where it's just you and some floating ice, that would be kind of cool, you know. But so I kind of think that's one of the limitations with multiplayer is, and unfortunately, I think we lose a bunch of stuff because they're afraid to do, you know, so much stuff, you know, because it would look bad, you know, because it would lag out the game. So sometimes I think that's, you know, that's the problem. All right, let's read some of this chat. Yep. Yep, the little boat. Let's see, any update yet? No update yet. So hopefully this means it's a big part they're still working on. Nope, nothing there. Up, announcements. It's hit, so we can do it here in a second. Yep, the new one's out. I had a feeling they were going to use that screenshot, so. They use Britzilla's plane. Alright. Let's shut the engine off. You coming? Come on, jackass. I'll run this person off, and then I will do the update. We'll record it for the video. Still falling? There she is. She's a-coming. This is where I recorded the courthouse for Vice. All right, good. Stop following me. Hello, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and check the update here so it's out. All right, I'll mute out the music here, and I'm going to record it as the video, so that'll be why it's like the video. Welcome back to the weekly update video. This is version 1.10.3, the map icon update for February 14th, 2024, and the first screenshot is by. All right, it's not by Britzilla, but Britzilla made the plane. You know, this is the weekly controversy of, why do the devs not say who built the build? They do it because they've explained many times is right here on the top. If you look on the top, it says images may be used in announcements. You're consenting to your image to be used in the announcement videos. They don't know. This is Britzilla's plane. Okay. Now, this is level 99 fishing. I don't know who that is, but I don't think they own this. They're not Britzilla. And so this is their vehicle, this orange truck. This is Britzilla's. Okay. And so if the dev said, this is by level 99 fishing. Now you get 200 people saying, oh, I want your plane. And he's got to be like, it's not my plane, it's Britzilla's. Or he says, yeah, that's my plane, and it's not his plane. And so the devs don't want to get involved in that. They don't want to have to deal with the backlash if they credit it wrong. For example, every week Phil credits this. I credit them in my video. And if we get it wrong, it's on us. It's not on the actual company that is doing this. So it's better for them just to use a picture, people consent to it here, and it's a say, hey, look at these cool things people are doing in game. That's all it is. And so by them taking the risk of putting the wrong name to it, they're just going to start controversy, and instead of spending time developing the game, they got to dick around and play with that stuff. So instead, they just put cool pictures on that people have already consented to have on there. So level 99 fishing. So a little ranty today, I know, but that's why they do that. They've explained it, and I think it makes sense. It's easier. Let us credit them because there's no expectation we get it right, you know. Dear Stormworkers, this week is minor update week, and we have added a new component, the map icon component. Use this component on your creation to determine which part of your vehicle is considered the primary part of your vehicle for map purposes. Other parts will be considered secondary and will not show an icon. And the next screenshot is by. This is the other thing I was talking about with hype. Bunch of people were hyping up, oh, we're getting fishing nets. It's definitely fishing nets. Or, oh, it's going to be rod holders. It's going to be rod holders. They're going to be disappointed that it's not X, Y, or Z. And so, it's better not to hype yourself up. The reason they did this part was the part when they did the space update, the space DLC, they changed the way subgrids work. So if you see a bunch of steering wheels all in one build, it's the different components that could be separate vehicles. And so each vehicle is now considered a separate component so that, for example, they don't despawn if they get too far from the mothership. So you can have a skiff that does not despawn when it gets too far from the mothership. That's why they did it. And so the problem was you have multiple steering wheels. So this part, I assume, is going to be on there so that you put it on the main craft and it doesn't show the little steering wheels of all the other stuff. People have been complaining about that. That's why I think they did it. Archer Dude 11. So that's why they did it. Again, would I have liked something cooler than that? Sure. But I didn't hype myself up, so it's not major disappointment where I think you're going to find a bunch of people are going to be like, oh, dude, I thought it was going to be this. As well as this new part, this update is a particularly large fixes and improvements update with many important changes. Please see the patch notes below. There are many more minor updates and major updates in work, as well as work continuing on our new game. And the next screenshot is by. All right, that I think is Carnival's tank. Let us see. Is the Vool's tank here? I think that is Carnival's tank. Let us see. That's it right there, but that's not the picture. Where's the picture? Right there. Carnival. All right. And this one is FJ Warner, I believe. Let's do a developer live question and answer session on Thursday, the 22nd of February at 1800 UTC. I will answer questions live for at least an hour. While we won't confirm any new unannounced features in development, we will discuss the pros and cons of any ideas and suggestions and do our best to answer your questions. Please do join us for this on stormworks store page where the stream will appear. We will create a Steam event shortly, and the next screenshot is by. So that's cool. I got the date for the next Q&A, which will be cool to see. FJ Warner, I believe. Where is that? This one right here. Is that the one? That's the one. Okay. FJ Warner. All right. There we go. Lots of fixes. They announced that this one would be a big fix update. Much love, stormworks developers. And here are the patch notes. Version 1.10.3 feature map icon block. This new block allows the player to choose which vehicle in their vehicle group should render on the map. If no map icon block is found, the default behavior will remain to render all vehicles in group. So this is to fix the multiple steering wheels you see on. That was done with the Space DLC. So this is probably to make it a little less confusing so people will see the one vehicle, especially if you're using, for example, a ship with something like a life raft on it. You can set it so you're not seeing multiple vehicles. Fix zero pressure transfer through doors when in complete vacuum. So this could be a sinking fix. Leak rate issues at equal pressure. Fluid backflow issue with vehicle damage leaks. This is likely a fix in my testing for if you damage a block, it is letting in only a certain amount of fluid and then not anymore. Seawater turns to fresh water across doorways. That was a bug I noticed. Mistagged arid mission zone. Boat spawned in road/lag. Liquid rocket logic node typo. Missing stars in skybox. Space seats description. Day-night length sliders when above default length. Transport supply mission typos. Fix CO2 poisoning not working. Workshop author map icon info broken. Mac OS game icon. Mac OS missing clouds. Mac OS close crash. Mac OS quit multiplayer crash. Why Mac? Leak at map border crash. Animation blend crash. Slider gripper brake crash. Add-on lure ropes resource crash. And fix remove connectors crash. That's the weekly update, and thanks for watching. All right, good. So that's recorded. I'll put that video out later, but some bunch of good fixes here. I guarantee you. We'll do the thing that I hate to do. We'll go in the discussions here, and I bet you're going to see some people who are disappointed that the box wasn't what they imagined. You know, you're responsible for your own hype. People do this all the time. They hype something up in their head, and then it never will live up to it. It's just like, relax, dude. Let's see what things are later, man. Yep, see? Right off the bat. People, like, you could see people were like, oh, I bet it's nets. No, man. Like, they're just building up hype, man. You know. I don't know why people hype themselves up like this and then they get all upset, you know. So grouchy nonsense. Let's see. Yeah, this is interesting. Phil's comment about radar is I'm curious if all those, like, I don't play with radar much, but some people are talking about, like, the map was getting cluttered because you might have one vehicle that has like 4 of those steering wheel icons, so it could be like just absolute soup with all the icons on radar, so I'm curious. Let's see, fishing nets. All right. All right, so that's pretty good. You know, again, could it be more exciting if it was a different thing? Yeah, but you know, again, that was an issue people had. They responded to it. Again, not every update's going to be an update necessarily for you or me, and so that one works. It's a you know, so I'm not going to bother rebooting to get that part. It's pretty minor, I think. Let's go ahead and check no clip at sleep. Okay. Just jump in some random dude's house. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing is like people will just build up all this hype in your head, and even if it's the part you wanted, it's not going to be as exciting as what you imagined because you imagined, you know, imagination ran wild. Yeah, it's funny. I love the videos where it's a you know, they're funny. They're all over the place. Where you'll see a video where parents got their ungrateful kid a car, and it wasn't the exact car their kid wanted. And so the kid throws a temper tantrum. I wanted this one. I wanted it black. I wanted it in white. And it's like, dude, you just got a car. Shut up and say thank you. And they'll get all upset that, oh, it wasn't the exact color I wanted. But it's like, dude, your parents who go to work every day bought you a car. A lot of people, have to pay for their own cars. A lot of people never get a car. A lot of people's parents can't put food on the table, and this person's complaining about they didn't get the color they wanted. And it's like, and so it's kind of the same thing is by hyping yourself up that, oh, I'm gonna get this car, it's gonna be this color, it's gonna be this horsepower, oh my God, and then you don't get that, you're disappointed where normally you'd be like, oh my God, I got a car. And so it's that sort of stuff is kind of what goes on with this hype, and I could see it building. Like people were like, oh, I bet it's rod holders, oh, I bet it's this, I bet it's this, and it's like, dude, just wait. Like all you're gonna do is you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Just wait. They'll show you in whenever they're gonna do it what it is. Why is this one sitting funky? That's what I want to know. Doesn't come up on plane even, so I may or may not fix that. It's a pretty tiny boat, so I'm trying to keep the logic minimal, but I do have space to add some logic to it, so I might fix it. Let's start the music back up. Let's read some of his chat. Yeah, I think it's a cool block. I think it will fix some issues people are having. I didn't even think of the radar community, but essentially, I think people's missiles were freaking out because there's too many targets. So it made sense. And you can see that as something where, you don't. There's a lot of unintended consequences. You make a change to your build, or in the case of the devs to the game, and you don't know what's going to happen until it happens. And like. You can't imagine how everybody's going to play this game or how everybody's going to engineer their builds, And so it kind of comes out that, you may think, oh, this change isn't going to be a problem. Then you realize up later, yep, it is a problem because X, Y, and Z that you didn't even think about. Oh, yeah, creation glitches out, yeah. Is it not usually the furthest to the front? I'm not sure. Yep, assumptions are the mothers of it all. It's not you know what they say when you assume. You make an ass out of you and me, but it's more you and yourself when you assume. But that's the issue with people making assumptions. Oh, it's going to be this and this, and then they get they're unhappy about it. It's like, just dude, stop building hype. It's the hype machine is the worst thing you can do. It's bring up like Starfield. Like I didn't think Starfield was going to be very good, and it and the big thing for me, and it wasn't that I'm some sort of like witch that can see these things, but it was not, for me in a space game, spaceships are the most important thing. And so like right when Starfield, it's pretty much said that this, they're just going to be set pieces, they're not going to actually do anything. Come on. They're going to be set pieces, they're not actually going to do anything. Pretty much like turned off any desire I had to play Starfield. And so I refunded Starfield twice. What's going on here? What the fuck is happening here? I thought I had them on my back. I can't tell if they're on my back or not. This ship's having weird... Oh, they're stuck in the hull. Fuck you. Get off the hull. Get out of there, you dickhead. I don't think I have a reser in here, do I? I do. Okay. Do I have a reser in here? I can't even see. No, I have a torch. Okay, we'll take his carcass with us. We're gonna let this bitch burn. But yeah, it's like, a lot of people that were so hyped up for Starfield, and before they even saw the game, they were defending it. And it's like, wait for it to come out, see if it's good. Like back in the day, you used to have to get a physical copy. Like I remember, I forget which Grand Theft Auto it was. It might have been 5. Back when it first came out, I think I went and I waited in line when it first came out, and that was like the first time this was kind of changing, because it was for a console, and I had to get the of course it was consoles, friggin' Grand Theft Auto, and they got to screw everybody with consoles, but by putting it on the console, but the Like, yet, you know, you used to have to wait, like, people would go at midnight to buy games, and it was kind of, there was a cool thing with it where you, like, got all excited and you wait in line to go get a game. Oh, Jesus. He's getting killed by the boat propeller. Oh, that's horrible. I'm going to take a picture of it. Oh, that's great. He's already dead, so. Or he's not dead yet, but look. The rooster tail of blood's got me. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. We'll take a screenshot. We'll take a couple of... Look at this poor bitch getting eviscerated. Oh, I love it. That's fantastic. Ah. That's gorgeous. Look at that. We're going to get one with the casualty. Oh, it won't show the casualty died. Oh, it's fantastic. That's beautiful. Oh, I love it. That's great. Oh, that is so good. Look at this rooster tail of blood. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, that's great. That's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. That was a Vrijo mission. That should have been Vrijo. Yeah, the Tarantino boat. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I really do. That's beautiful. The old meat grinder. Fantastic. I love it. How do you know you're going fast when you have streaming blood over the top of you? Yeah, so like that's a solid update. You know, bunch of stuff fixed. I saw some in there. So we'll do a little bit of testing. We'll go back in the test world here. I'm curious if a bunch of that stuff is for the sinking ship survival community who are crying, you know, rightfully so to a certain extent. Their gameplay was disadvantaged for a little while. So like, watch here. You can see like see that graphical stuff? That's that person getting spawned ahead of us. So like, if we have a crash, that is because I'm just letting this happen. So, you know, the person is glitched into the build, so kind of expect some weird stuff to happen. So that's why we're tipping. So a bunch of that stuff's that. I'll get rid of this person here in a second. We'll just dump them all in the drink and I'll pull them back out. I want to get this boat put away. Yeah, it's going to go on there. I'll put it on. We might be out of fuel, too. So, trying to get us back here. Please make it to the bench. I don't want to have to go through rigmarole to get this thing done. Blood, it's what's for dinner. Alright, come on, let's get in there. Alright. Cannot edit with passengers. Get out of there then. Ha! 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 Where's medkit, medkit, and then let's get rid of the fire extinguisher. I don't want that on me forever. Okay, let's go ahead. I think I have an amphib. This amphib car works, I believe. We'll see. It hasn't been worked on since pressurization, so let's hope it works. Hopefully, dead Magoo gets eaten by those fish. A little bit of chum for the fish. Alright. This person's in serious need of a med kit, so... Oh, come on. You're not driving, jackass. Alright. And then, I asked you to follow me, but you didn't, did you? Okay. That's alright. I don't want them glitching the side of the boat. That's kind of why I'm leaving a little bit of space here, is... Don't want them glitching inside of my amphib car. This is the, you know, there are some silver linings to when, like, for example, they don't have a place to spawn land vehicles here, is that you need to make an amphib car if you want. So that's kind of that. You could say that's the silver lining, is by making it so that you don't have X, Y, or Z at a base. You kind of have to think outside the box and come up with some solutions. Look at that, perfect. We wouldn't have had the seat for that dude anyways. So we'll justify our negligence as a rescue company here in a bit. We don't want to get sued here. We don't have the money for lawsuits here. We got expensive things we need to do. So let's see. What's going on here? Let's try it with infinite electricity. I may not have finished this, and I don't want to dick around with this all day. Okay. Alright, yep, so this needs some work on electrical. But yeah, like I said, that is the silver lining for this not having a land bases. I needed to bring out one of my amphibs, where I would probably just grab the van again. So gives you a little incentive to build some certain things. Probably, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off the engine overheating's off. So I'll shut that off for this because I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Anything that I built kind of pre-pressurization, I want to check the cooling systems out. So. Like, none of my gauges are hooked up. So, yeah, this thing never got finished. So, maybe at some point we can finish this. Because this is small enough to go on Tethys. So. Oh, there's a Holstein cow. I didn't know they had that design of cow. Let's try not to go too rambunctious here in Crash. And there's a diesel buy there. Steering is a little bit anemic, so I might want to work on that too. Holy Jesus. Come on, come on, come on. I have to fix the steering controller. I did not tune the steering in either, so this thing never got finished, so. Working pretty well, but it just needs some basic fixes. If I stop fast enough, will they go into the building and I can just leave them? Yeah. Come on, jackass. Alright, let's go ding and dong. Get going there, guys. Alright, good, good. You guys stay here. No. I don't need a fan club. You stay there. It is an air intake. Oh, we did the flip. We did it. That is the propeller moving faster than it should. Now, of course, that would never happen in real life, but the gamification of things. No, I don't believe it is. No, I think I have a radiator somewhere in there. I forget how I cool this. I'll have to look at it. It's just, it's usually cosmetic. I usually put those on as kind of a That would be kind of the air cleaner. Be where you put the filter in that housing. Be the filter housing. Alright, good. So that needs a little bit of love. See what we want to do here. Oh, the fire. I never put the fire up because I didn't have firefighting equipment. Let's see. What I want to do. What do I wish to do here? Let's see how long we've been streaming for. Keep going. Let's see. Oh, there's the air refueling plane. Let's go ahead and we'll run the other. Let's go in the. Save this first. All right, let's go ahead and let's finish. Let it save. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and we'll load up the custom game. And I'll start by doing the approach, the new approach I made, and then may work and builds. I'll be right back when I get a drink. When you guys take this intermission, I'll be back and get a drink, use the facilities. Alright. Coffee and bathroom done. Let's go ahead and head up to military. I'll probably record this, put out the same kind of as the video I did yesterday. Alrighty, let's get in here. Cap Air Jet, I did some edits on. The nose gear, we have to keep an eye on. It was not locking in position, so I had a collapse on the video. Did a swing test and it swung fine, so I don't know what the deal is with it. Alright, I'll do the intro later and I'll record this out. So let's go ahead, spawn it. I'll brief the approach in the air. But record this for the vid. Let's go. Hiya! In there. Let's go. Power connect. Nope, no gens yet. APU's coming on. Right, fuel valve 1. We'll crank 1. Won't start cranking until the APU builds up enough pressure. See the APU bleed valve. Won't spin until the bleed valve's on too. Alright, 1 is up. 2's coming up. Flaps are set for takeoff. Beacon is on. Two is good. Let's go ahead and put in the radio frequency for the airport here, which is 600. All right, we start recording. I'll record in a second here. We'll do it on taxi out. All right, so we'll do a altitude hold of 3,000 feet. And we'll do a heading hold of runway heading, which is going to be 211. All right, and so those are pre-selected. All right, we'll record and we'll start taxiing out. All right, so let's go ahead and taxi. All right, so we're going to be taxiing to runway 21 for departure. Let's go ahead and we'll kick up the fog here so that we're simulating instrument conditions here. All right, nav lights are coming on. Strobes, logo, taxi, and landing. Make sure the hydraulics are on or we're going to have problems. I didn't do a fire test. We'll do a quick fire test. Fire test is working. All right, we're clear for takeoff. Runway 21. Climb, maintain runway heading up to 3,000. We'll be turning back direct to MIL NDB. And then we'll begin the runway 21 approach. So I'll bring up the plate here in a second. All right, here we go. $80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gears coming up. Autopilot is on. Flaps are coming up. Afterlane checklist is complete. All right, so I'm going to bring up the approach plate here, so we'll just pause it up and bring that up. Let's see, where is it? Where are you at there, guy? Here it is. 21 plate right there. Let's actually bring it up. I'll bring it up in OBS. That'll be better. That way it works for the video as well. Okay. Right, so here's the approach plate. We'll brief the plate. We're going to go ahead and we just took off 2-1. We're going up to 3,000 feet on a heading of 211 runway heading. We're going to make a right turn back direct to MIL. Then we're going to go outbound on the 031 course for 10 nautical miles. At 10 nautical miles, we're going to take a right turn to 076. After 1 minute, we're going to turn left on 256, I believe. And then we're going to intercept the course for 211 once we pass the NDB, we can descend down 2,000 feet. And once we're within 10 nautical miles on the way back in, we can descend down to 752 straight in. All right, so let's go ahead and we will head direct to the NDB. So we're going to go ahead and do our radial. And we'll go ahead and do nav, or radio, not radial. All right, so now we can pre-select our heading, which is going to be 031. So that's pre-selected. All right. I'm going to keep us a little bit slow just so that buys me some time for the course reversal here. So that's something we do in the airlines. You always want to brief your approach so you know what you're doing here. Currently 3.8 nautical miles away. And we're turning fast enough. We're good here. So. All right, 3.4 nautical miles away from the NDB. So we're currently, if we look here, we are to the south where the dashed line is. And now we've made our right turn, and we're heading back to the NDB. And then we'll head out on the 031 course. So we're now, I'm going to turn us a little bit faster. It's a little bit anemic on my turn here, so I want to kick us over a little bit. There we go. All right. Just to speed us up a little bit, getting turned. But now we're back inbound toward the NDB. All right, so we're going to be there in 0.6 seconds. So at 0.6 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and hit heading, and we'll head out on the 031. So you can see our time right there. We're 1.1 nautical miles. So we're waiting to get close here. We're going to do it probably about, well, I don't know, a half right there. Let's go half mile, and we'll start making our turn. All right, you notice it's going crazy. That's what happens when you fly over it. It's flipping. So we're probably going to be right of our course a little bit. So anticipating that I'm probably right of course, I'm going to head to 025 so that we can intercept. Now the outbound course is 211. So we want to follow the outbound course, which is a 211. All right, so see this number's falling? That's because I put in my course correction. So we went too far to the east, so I've decreased my number even more so that we get this number to drop. I'm going to take out some of that. I'm going to go to 029. We want this number to go to 211. Since we passed the NDB, we can descend down to 2,000 feet. So we're going to descend down 2,000 feet. This number we still want to drop to 211. So we're just, we have a much smaller correction in here. I might have to put in a little bit more correction. Let's do 028. There we go, it's still dropping. So once it hits 211, we're gonna turn to 031. So we're only a couple degrees of correction here. We have 3 degrees of correction in. So I'm gonna take out another degree of correction. So very minor course correction here. So we're now outbound on the outbound radial. Up there is, so 211, we want 031. All right, and that's, we want to stay on there. So if this number keeps dropping, I need to recorrect to the east. If it rises, no, if it rises, I need to correct west. All right, distance is 6.4 nautical miles. Sorry, I'm eating. At 10 nautical miles, we're going to turn right to, let me just get the bigger view so I can see my approach plate. 076. And so we're going to make that turn at 10 nautical miles. Alright, so just kind of hanging out right now. Notice we're perfectly on course. We're outbound on 211. So that correction got us back on pretty quickly. You know, if you anticipate, you know you're going to fly through your course, you want to go ahead and put that correction right in. You know it's going to happen. You know you're going to need to correct. You know, we went too far east, so I knew I needed to correct more west, so I did 025 instead of 031, and that flew us back onto course. All right, 9.5, we're going to get ready for this here. So what we want to do here is it's going to be a 076. 076, enter. All right, I'm going to grab a... Oh, Jesus Christ. Phone's plugged in. My phone is plugged in. Sorry if my mic's being scratchy and annoying. It's my headset. I need to fix that too. Let's do stopwatch. All right, so I'm going to wait till I get on this. I need to increase the turn rate of this. This does not bank enough. Why are we getting cold? That's weird. Okay, I overshot a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn the heater on. Alright, so we're back on 076. Let's time out. We're going to time out for a minute. Is my mic sounding a little scratchy to you guys, or is that just my audio? Because I want to make sure my mic's not scratching out. Alright, so we're currently at 17 seconds, so we're going to go out for, we won't necessarily go a full minute. Next turn is going to be an inbound course of inbound heading of 256, so the reciprocal of this. So let's see. I don't want to cut it in too tight, so we'll wait the full minute. Or close to it at least. Alright, here we are, 45 seconds. Let's go ahead and turn in 256, 256. Left turn, 256. Why are you going right? I wanted a left turn, 256. So I'm going to force it to go left. Oh, you suck. Go to 10, and then... Supposed to be a left course reversal. It was probably... It's definitely... We're equidistant. We could go left or right, so I have to, like, make it do this. We used to actually have to do this in the airlines. It would pick... People act as though this is just a game thing. This would happen with the autopilots and the airlines, is you would turn your heading bug like 10 degrees to the left, and then once the plane started turning in the correct direction, you would then spin it to where you wanted. Because if you spun it all the way to where you wanted, it would say, okay, I could go left or right. You have to follow the approach plate. The approach plates tell me to go left. So, I need to increase my standard rate turn. If you notice, I'm not doing a standard rate turn. That's why these turns, I have to keep helping them. So I'm just helping this. That's a standard rate turn right there. All right, so our inbound course is 211. So we want to go in on the 211 when we get back inbound. I'm going to kick some rudder. I want to get us moving over there quickly. I don't want this to take forever. You know what it was? I didn't fix this, so... Come on. There we go. Alright, let's get back in there. We have time. We're at 218. We don't have a ton of time, but we have a little bit of time, so I'm going to just keep turning this here. I screwed up by not pressing the heading in there. Alright, we'll cut the turn just a little bit. Let's do 222. Alright, so what we're looking for here is we're back inbound, and we want this number to get down to 211. So the further we go west, that number is going to drop. So we're currently heading a little bit to the southwest here. We went way out, so I'm cutting us in just a little bit. I see it just dropped a digit. We went from 217 down to 216. So we're looking for 211. 211 is our inbound course. So We're not that far. We're only 11 degrees off, so I'm going to wait till it probably is like at 212 to turn. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'll probably just pull the heading hold off, and it will turn us right to the waypoint, and then I'll fix it. It'll go direct to the NDB. Yeah, it's something wrong with my mic. It's pissing me off. I gotta fix it. All right, notice we just lost another degree there. We're down to 215. So we're waiting for 211. We're also, I did this too to cut in. You notice we're now down to 12 miles. I'm trying to cut us in, so it doesn't take too long to get out. Down to 214. Again, looking for 211. All right, now I should probably correct a little bit more west, but just for game reasons, I'm not. We're at 213. We're good. So we're still descending. I probably cut out too much angle, but it's not too bad. Heater's coming on now, so we're not getting cold anymore. It's an auto heater. You set the temperature that you want. It maintains it. All right, so we're down to 212. Let's go ahead, and we're going to go take off heading hold. And I'm going to actually set just a little bit, so what we'll do is we'll do 213 maybe. Go back on heading hold here. That'll keep us going west. We want that at 211. All right, now once we're on course, we're within 1 degree of our course. We're within 10 nautical miles. We can descend down to 752. That's specified on this approach. It's based off a number of things. It's based off altitude. It's based off a number of issues. It's a non-precision approach. So we need at least, unless they change the regs that I don't understand on NDBs, that I don't remember, it should be 500 feet above the touchdown zone elevation. You know, the person who's talking about it on the thing, that's probably for GPSs. They, again, when I was flight instructor, they were in the process of adding GPSs that could do vertical nav. They had yet to get to it. You know, we had it in the airlines, but in smaller planes they didn't have it. All right, so now we're on the 211. As you can see, we're at 211. We're 5 nautical miles out. Go ahead. We're going to get ready for landing here. So we are only, 1.7 minutes, so gear's coming down. Flaps can go full. And we're going to have that gear problem. I think it's it's because the gear is going forward, it's not locking. I need to figure something out because this is supposed to lock into a hard point, and it's not doing it, and I don't know why, and I gotta fix it. So it's being obnoxious. I gotta fix it. I'm gonna cycle the gear really fast here. We're only 3 miles out. We're at a good speed here. Let's get a little bit faster. We're a little bit slow. I'll cycle the gear, see if I can't get the gear to lock into place. Nose wheel does not want to lock, which is not good. I gotta fix that. Check physics, make sure physics is set to high. It is, okay. Alright, nose wheel's not locking. I gotta play with that. So we might have a nose wheel collapse here. Alright, we are currently, we're on course. We're 2.7 nautical miles away. We should be seeing this airport pretty soon. Expect it right ahead of us. Really rather not have another landing gear. There it is. That's the island before it. Okay, so we go over an island before we go to military. So I'm going to go ahead. We're close enough now. I'm going to pop the autopilot off, and I'm going to fly by hand. I should be able to see it really closely. This island's close, so. Another reason why you don't go down so low on this approach is we have a island before it, so. There it is right there. Airport in sight. Landing. Trying to see the runway. Okay, there's the runway. We're a little bit north of course, not much. Okay, I'm trying to see it. It's a little bit foggy for me here. And again, we're probably going to have another nose wheel collapse because I thought I'd fixed the hard point. I guess I didn't. So here we go. Pulling off just a little bit of speed. I'm not going to flare. You don't really flare these planes. So I flared it too much last time and did a long landing. And nose wheel's probably going to collapse. There it goes. Okay. All right, so that worked, but it, as you can see, we had a nose wheel collapse because of that. So, all right, good. Let's fix that nose wheel issue. But that's yeah, that's a nice instrument approach there. As you can see, it works. Sorry, I coughed in the mic, even though I muted the friggin' thing. So, let's see. Why is this not connecting is the question here. What are you plugged into? You're plugged in the doors, which are plugged there. Okay. Why, oh why is this frickin' thing not working? The problem is I do a swing test and it locks. And then I don't do a swing, you know, and then I take it up and it doesn't want to lock. So this is not locking. I'm interested why this isn't locking in a position. I don't know what's wrong with it. Should, you know, the only thing I can think of is this is turning forward into the wind. Let's check the lock logic on this and see why. I may know why. Let's check it. I have an idea. Okay, let's see. So we have nose wheel, we have hard point release. Okay, so right here, I bet this could be, nah, that's not it. This is greater than 0. We want to release the hard points. Interesting. See, the mains I think are locking. The mains are locking. So this is coming off of this right here. Okay. So composite channel 10 and greater than 5 meters. Let's go like that. Go like that for now and see. I want to do a quick test, see if I can get this gear to work. That's getting annoying. That nose wheel's not locking in the down position, then it collapses. So, kind of obnoxious that is. Okay. APU and bleed. Do a quick pattern here. Waiting for the air pressure to build up. That'd be kind of cool too, is we can do this realistically too now. Let's go. Flaps set, beacons on, Gen 1 is on, hydraulics A is on. Gen fire test. Okay. Alright, we can go ahead and shut that off. Let's go ahead and we'll quickly taxi out of here. Let's improve the weather here. We're just gonna go do a quick pattern to try to test out the landing gear. Do a test flight. I had to do test flights every once in a while, but landing was good. It was just that nose wheel collapsing. The runways are very, very short. There's a reason why like everything takes off in short distance in stormworks. This is the long runway. It's 1,700 feet long. Like you're wanting at least 4,000 to 6,000 feet. 6,000 feet is a pretty short runway for a jet like this. So you would want a much longer runway. 80 knots, V1, rotate, positive rate. Gear is coming up. So we got it in transit light. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna click them back down, see if they lock. Okay, so that fixed it. All right. So something was up where it was not reading that number correctly. Now we're locked in place. So let's see. So one hypothesis I had was if I'm going too fast, it will not lock into place because of the wind pressure. So let's go up to 250 about. Knock it down. Okay, so we're locked in place now. So that is locked. So come in for a pattern. Leave the flaps where they are. I'm going to slow down, but... Should have the flaps up here. I put 200 knots. It should probably be 220. See if we can see the airport there. There's the airport. Let's grab my binoculars. Okay. All right, gear's coming down. We're going to do kind of a really tight-in approach here, so that's... Start slowing us down. How's it going there, Hollywood? Glad you're enjoying it. Appreciate it. Alright. Don't want to cut this in too tight. We're going to also start slowing down here. There we go. Our landing gear is down and actually 3 green this time. So I'll probably redo the video off screen later, now that I have the gear fixed. But as you can see, the approach works well. So that's a simple NDB approach. That is, like, NDBs are the most challenging approaches to fly for a number of reasons. Like, one of it is the course is backwards. You have to go the opposite direction. That's kind of a pain in the ass. They don't give you a course. You have to, it always points at it. So you don't get a course line like with a VOR. VOR, you put in the final approach course. So VOR, if that was a VOR, you'd put in 211 into the VOR, and the needle would only line up on 211. So it's a little bit easier. All right, so landing gear is down, 3 green. Let's just do lights here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, there we go. A little bit high here, so, and a little bit fast. So I'm just going to slow us down here a hair. All right, this is the shorter runway. This is only like 1,200 feet long, 1,300 feet, something like that. Pretty short, and that's the entire runway length. You're not supposed to land on that first displaced threshold either, so it's even lower. You don't really want much of a flare in a jet. You just pretty much fly it right to the ground like that. There we go. Brakes, 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 brakes. Thrust reversers are probably coming in now. There we go. So yeah, that fixed the landing gear. So that was just a small problem. What is up with this light? What the fuck is up with that light? That light's based off landing gear 2, so could have a bad sensor issue on the landing gear I need to set up. This is that alpha. This is that taxiway alpha that somebody thought should be something different. It's like, nope, that's how it's supposed to be. So you can see these are based off of old MD-80. Oh, it's damaged. That's why. How'd that get damaged? Oh, you know why? These are on pivots and they come out because on the MD-80 they rotated out like that. They're kind of cool. The lights would come out of the wings, so that's why I did that. And it looks like it got damaged on the way out. So taxiing on taxiway alpha will clean up. So that's why that's flickering. Clean up the flaps. All right, we'll taxi on. I believe this is alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 2, I think. I can't remember what I labeled it. I'll take the approach plate off too. I still have that showing. And then we're cleared to cross runway 21. Check it, approach area. So that's that island we have to fly over. Another reason why we don't scud run and come down to like 200 feet is you wouldn't want to buzz that island. Yeah, that was, I don't know, that person seemed like they had some fundamental misunderstandings of how some of the stuff is done. Some of the reasons why they do the minimums where they do is so that you're not buzzing the ground at 200 feet. The other thing is for obstacles. If there are obstacles, you do not buzz the ground, because if you go off course by a little bit, you'll hit an obstacle. You know, so you don't, you know, if you have vertical nav and a GPS, which is what that person was thinking of, yeah, you can go down. It's like an ILS. It's the same thing as an ILS. That's not the point of this. The point is to also have ILSs later down the road. So, all right, let's go ahead and shut down. So yeah, so this landing gear is fixed, which is good. Let's save that. Work on some builds. All right, what do we want to work on here? I think it would be kind of cool to build. We didn't get a part that I really like, you know, that's... I was hoping, you know, if we got a new part that was something cool as far as, like, you know, could build with it, I would have built something with it. But we did not, which is fine. Let's see what I want to do here. Check something real quick. Make sure I didn't have anything scheduled for today. I don't. Okay, good. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything really that I need to work on. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead. I think I'm going to end it up there. Just can't really think of much I want to do right now. And then, you know, when I kind of inspired to build something, I'll go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and let's finish up a chat here. Yeah, the blood was good. I enjoyed that. The guy getting sprayed. Again, you've got till the stroke of midnight on this Friday to turn in the build challenge my time. So keep that in mind for anyone who has yet to turn in. Oh, show you your autopilot? Okay, what did you want to see on the autopilot, Oofer? Like, specifically, because I can't show the whole damn thing. It's going to take 100 years, but... Like, what did you want to see specifically? Yeah, I gotta... Unfortunately, I can't just buy the microphone for this headset. It's a pain in the ass, it really is. How you limit pitch angle and stuff? Okay, pitch angle and stuff. Let's look. Where are we at here? All right, so here is... all right, so I have desired altitude, and I have the altimeter. So, what is that? Desired altitude, altimeter, right there. Okay. Okay, that's there. Okay. So let's see. We have the desired altitude, and we have the altimeter. I put it in. I just convert it to feet. That goes into the PID. I'm using a p-value of 0.25. That goes into a clamp. Negative 30, positive 30. That is. I don't do this much anymore. It still works well in this plane, but what this is doing is this is feet per minute. This is meters per second rather. So let's see. Meters to feet. 30. So 98 times 60, 98 times 60. Come on, man. 98 times 60. So that's 5,800 feet per minute. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the vertical speed on this. And so I do it a little bit differently in some of my other builds here, but for this plane, I wanted it like this. So anyways, you put desired altitude, altimeter in. This is giving me either a negative 30 or positive 30 maximum. And what that is doing is that is giving me the vertical speed. And the reason I did that was you usually set your vertical speed in these planes. And so I was going to put that system back in. And I didn't. And so then I take my vertical speed. I put it through a second PID to then do vertical speed. Let me do roll. And then I'll show you like one more quick autopilot. I'm going to jump off of the of how roll's done. So here's the roll tilt. Set point is 0. And then let's see. So let's see, where is, see what I'm doing here. Roll to gyro. Try to understand why I have this. Oh, this is, where is it? I'm trying to understand how I have this. Okay. Let me look real quick. It's going to be impossible to go through this like this over. Maybe at some point I'll do a tutorial, but just going like this. Limiting pitch angles are pretty much, you can go in with clamps. So just clamp them out. It's going to take forever. Like if you look over here, this is how I'm limiting it. This is the limiting factor right here. Negative 1.2 to 1. That's based off of roll tilt. So that's the maximum tilt. So I've set the roll tilt. So actually, now this is fine. This is set up how I want it. So essentially what I'm doing here is when the turn comes in, it's giving it a number, and then I am comparing it to roll tilt. So whatever the number is, it can go to a maximum of a roll tilt of 0.2 or negative 1.2. And so what I recommend you do is go out there and put a dial on your dash and roll the plane where you want it, the maximum value. And if it's, say, 1.2, you would then clamp it out as 1.2, and that way the autopilot will only do it. So, yep, this is fine. I figured out what I did now. So this works fine. This feeds into here. I thought this was deselected. So that's all you do is go out there in your plane, roll to the roll you want, read the roll value on the roll tilt, and then you want to set the roll tilt. So it will roll the plane out to a maximum of whatever this is. So pretty simple there. But yeah, that works. All right, let me catch up, make sure chat's caught up. Looks pretty caught up. Yeah, I'll do an autopilot tutorial eventually. You know, it's complex. Do it part by part. It'd have to be a series. But yeah, so let me go ahead and thank the members here. So thank you to all the members. You have Side Mountain, Connor Boyle, Danny, Sergeant Chaos, Aaron Repairs All, Rasmus, Man of VR, and Anton Anderson. Thank you guys for being members. Thank you to Chickasore for being a patron. If you guys are interested in that, it's down in the description below. Thank you to everybody for watching. If you guys have not subscribed and you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. And if you guys would like the video that you do like, I would appreciate that. So see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.